there noise, maybe. If it's like more than 2 nodes away or something, he could just jump to it.
Yeah.
But I think that's fine, and that's about how big we would want the structures to be in the foreground for our image. And like, let's say he wanted to go across that bridge in the background, like let's say the second level bridge. You could see him crossing the second level bridge.
Over here?
The one in the middle. Yeah, so like he's crossing across that, and he goes to the house, to the first house across the bridge. Yeah, okay, cool. And now you could even see him in the very background if you went across that deep bridge, like going toward the palace or the Big Ben style clock at the end of the top bridge. You wouldn't have to show him going all the way there, but he might like,
up here.
Yeah, but he might like cross one bridge and then you'd see him cross another bridge and then he'd be there or something like that.
That's nice. You would have like an area of indication, so you know he was still actually there in some way.
Yeah, and we can do it with your idea, Cody, where he walks into a cave and then he pops up where he's supposed to be as well.
But yeah, that's the great thing about these like vertical cities is since they're almost like there's very little depth change.
Yeah.
I mean, he really doesn't even need to be like scaled. Like he looked fine at like here.
Yeah.
And he looks fine up here.
So I think this is what we need for Valley. I think our structures that are in the foreground need to be about the size of those. Like the perspective shift can't be tremendous as the city goes backward.
Yeah, I agree.
So
it's like almost orthographic, but not really.
Yeah. Is that do you think that we should continue on with this being our model, or do you have like are you attached to a different?
Which attached to what?
So like a different. Would you rather do a different method, or do you think we should move forward with this one?
I mean, I personally really like kind of looking up into. I really like the idea of a vertical, laid out town, however it is, you know.
Okay.
Just because for all the points that we just brought up, you know, there's not a whole lot of depth change. I mean, if you're basically stacking buildings on top of each other, you can get a lot more into space. You don't have to worry about. Yeah, I don't have to worry about like really crazy perspectives and whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I think this would work. As long as everybody thinks it looks okay. You know, if like a valley is just a very unique environment, but it's got a big wall in it, so it could, you know,
supports
it kind of, it wouldn't be crazy to do it that way.
Yeah, in Dev Girl, you won't be moving your character. Your character, when you click on a structure, will move through nodes on the map to that place. So it's
sort of like Monkey Island.
Yeah, it's semi on rails in that way. You're only able to click to interact with something. It's basically a point-and-click interface, but we're throwing in the character to make it feel more like you have control over the environment.
So I was whenever I went traveling this weekend, I was playing. I played a game. I brought a game with me, and I was playing it. And the way they did their town environments, it was just like a really pretty picture, not unlike something like what we were looking at. And there was just a list that would pop up over here of the different places you could go to, and you never saw anybody move. It's just like this was like the town shot, and if you went to like the barracks, it would switch to a barracks scene, and like there was absolutely no animation, and I was completely okay with it.
I think that would save us a lot of resources, and perhaps that's the direction we should go with in the demo. So, I mean, arguably, we only need a list of places, but I think it's fine to put a list of places and then have the place highlight itself when you hover over the name of the place, but also have it clickable on the map itself, and maybe even like highlight it when you're hovering over it on the map.
Yeah.
Like a small animation. I was talking to Frank, like the house that you have there on the bottom left. If all it did when you hovered over it was open the door,
yeah,
like that adds an element of interaction to the city.
So this is just to finish what I was saying, like, or give an example. This is the game, and it was just
a background.
that you got this image, and there'd be a day and night cycle. So there would be this image in the daytime, and then they'd have a really nice nighttime image. And all this kanji over here, this was actually like the inn or the barracks or like the shop or whatever, and you just would click on them, and you would get like an e-scene in our terminology. And it was totally okay. It might just be my acceptance of like more classical, like use your imagination kind of games, but I was totally okay with it. And
in some ways that's almost in a lot of ways that's easier, but in some ways that would actually be harder for us because we don't have a wealth of those scenes developed.
Ow.
And with these maps, we don't have to create those scenes.
We'll still have the e-scenes, right?
We'll have some of them, but in this way, like if we do it this way, we don't have to. If your character goes to the place, you can just have the dialogue pop up on the screen of the town itself.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, in that way, like we don't need the e-scenes that they have if we have a fully rendered town.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's one thing that we're trying to do is as much as possible, because it's much easier to put character portraits over it.
Then I think actually we're thinking of the same thing. We would have, like I was actually thinking that too. Like we wouldn't actually have to go to the like inside the shop. You could just have like the shopkeeper appear in front of the screen with the background of the city still there.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's just that your character will actually go to the places in the town, and there will be like some small signifier that they've gone there.
Okay.
I haven't decided whether or not to keep a legend of the places that there are, or have it open to the player to discover them yet. I think that'll depend on playtesting.
Well, I guess my takeaway, or what I'd want to say probably, is that I think we can get away with very minimal, like little bobblehead animations, and I think the player will be completely cool with that.
Okay, I'm great with that too, and I think that's what we should do. I just want the character visible to the player as soon as they're looking at the screen at the start. That way they have like, oh, that's me, and I am here.
Cool.
And that pays off. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna work on this stuff.
Okay.
Do you want to give it to Frank?
Yeah. There's one last thought. David and I agreed earlier that Valley would be more of a staircase than like a 90-degree angle. And what I mean by that is just that the structures in the foreground would build in height going backward.
Like it was on a big ziggurat or something?
Yeah, like there were layers of height on the way back to the wall.
Okay, so there'd be like tiers almost.
Yeah, like the low roof structures are closer in the foreground, and then there's like 2-story buildings, and then 3, and then the wall. Or just buildings that are on top of ledges or stuff like that.
Did we figure out what the mishmash of architecture is going to be like? Like with this, have you guys talked about like the capital influence?
There's no capitalistic influence on architecture within Valley proper. Also, the tower idea that we were going with, we're not going to implement. The towers are so far outside of Valley that they wouldn't be able to fit on the screen anyway.
Okay. Well, what's cool is if we do this side view, you've got so much of the horizon behind you that we could maybe try and put it in the background, like really far away, or however far away it needs to be, and it could still maybe be in the shot.
Yeah, I'm still for putting towers into the background. I think it's good overall.
But yeah, the this in valley looking up and through it
into the wall.
Yeah, really allows for us to put it way far away, but still in the shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm fine with doing that. I just want to see,
kind of like a reverse cone.
What's cool about this is we can take.
That's what I'm picturing.
We can take the structures, and we can just add them in. Like you've got one right there that Frank's working on now. So we can do it in like an instance sort of way, where we add structures as we go to the basic shape of the map itself.
Yeah. I'm still kind of gotta question mark on what the architecture really looks like. It's like I know there's rocks involved. There's probably a doorway somewhere.
Your interpretations that you put on the Valley 002 page are fantastic.
Is that the everybody agrees with that?
Like am I agreeing to?
The Valley 002, the image that Frank's working on right now. The page that came from, all of the houses that were on it.
Oh, those are nice. Yeah, I like those. I don't know, I'm pretty much just up for anything in the style of the ones that we talked about when we first looked at that image. Like, I think it was most of the stuff on, like, the bottom layer to the left. Like, I don't think the big Petra thing makes much sense within a valley context, but I think, like, these molehill-looking things and, like, these things built out of builders, like all these boulders, like, creating roofs and stuff like that, I think is all like going in the right direction. So yeah, other than that, I think like I'm cool with whatever you think looks good and makes sense within that context.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and if anybody else on the art team wants to, like, now that if we have a kind of idea, like an aesthetic or a look down, anybody in the art team that wants to, you know, make a building or something or try it out and you have time, I'd say go for it.
I'll take a look at it once I'm not working on all of my other shit.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So I guess what you're working on, Cody, is like a template or not a template, but a holder for all of the buildings. And if you have to add structures as you go, then that's fine. But really, what we're looking for is like the thing that we'll be adding the buildings to.
Yeah. So this image, I'll probably do as many of these as I need, and I'll do them like super quick and sloppy like this to just kind of get an idea of, you know, what it is, like what it looks like, and whether or not it works distance-wise and whatnot.
Okay.
That's what I'll be doing.
Sounds great. Frank, are you ready for us to switch back to you? Oh. Sorry, Cody, I guess it's you.
I'm here. Sorry, I was with my mic muted.
Okay.
Ready to share.
Alright. Frank's doing his best Dennis Hopper impression.
Who's Dennis Hopper? I don't know him.
He's the actor who starred in Easy Rider and was the antagonist in the film Speed.
I might know him, but I don't.
Essentially, you've taken over Cody's bus and you won't let it drive under 55 miles per hour.
Or else it'll explode.
So, I don't know, I think this is kind of messy color-wise. I think Cody has done a better job so far. But I'm just gonna go ahead and color the smoke and see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
I do want to say one thing. Trying to draw hyper-realism sucks on your wrist.
True that.
I'm trying to get some blades of grass done, and this is killing my wrist.
This game jam is making some progress, guys. We know much more about things than we did earlier.
I guess that's good.
I even know more about what I'm working on, and I never know what I'm working on.
See? That's progress. I really like that smoke trail, Frank.
Yeah, we could even add another frame. Still.
Frank's like, I want 70 frames. This is gonna be the best smoke that ever was. Yeah, Danar. Yeah. You know, we were talking about something earlier, Cody. that we wanted to try, but I don't think we have the time for it. But that we thought might be kind of cool. That's the smoke trail that starts at Frank's house. If that house is the first thing you click on when you come to Valley, which I guess would be indicated by the story or something like that, or whenever you choose to click on it. Maybe we can use this for another city later on. But when you click on that smoke, or the house, after your character leaves, the smoke traces out to the next place you're supposed to go to, through the city. Almost like in something like a Hayao Miyazaki movie, where the smoke is guiding the main character along. You guys can hear everybody who's also on the stream fairly well, right? I'm just going to reduce the volume down a little bit so that the sounds of art making and writing don't come through as much.
Oh, are you hearing the click, click, click that I'm doing?
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
Yes.
It's nothing big.
Oh, sorry.
And it doesn't bother me, but it could be that it's coming through louder for the viewers.
Sorry, just
No, it's not anything to worry about. Volume is okay. Okay, perfect. Ghost of Skills TV. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. So Frank, if you could do anything with this image right now, besides animate smoke, if there's one thing that you could, and like you had the instinct to change, and like there's nothing narrative wise or design wise preventing you, what would you change?
What would I change? You always ask me. I mean, I have my mind wrapped deep into this, trying to figure this out, and you always ask me these questions.
Yeah.
That I have to think about. What do I change? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about adding some lights. Maybe, since we know there's a fire in this hut, and like a shifting light through this door. That would be nice.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice too. It might also brighten up the image and increase the contrast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the colors are all over the place right now, though it's a bit muddy. I would like to go back and do the colors over, but let's just keep going with the animation.
let me rephrase that. Trying to do hyperrealism with grass sucks.
Don't do hyperrealism with grass. Only do hyperrealism with important stuff, like emotions. And marketing.
And marketing.
Welcome back to Infinity and Beyond. Add sand being blown by the wind, maybe? We were going to add that effect to the whole town rather than the individual structures, Ghost of Skills. Although I think it's a fantastic idea. It would be a ton of work to do to every individual structure. Or would it, Frank? I can't make that statement factually.
Yeah, I don't know. It might also be worth it to just try some things out with the Unity particle effect.
Yeah.
That might be something that's good for. I don't know. Just we have to test stuff, you know.
Yeah. You know what might be interesting is if this place is going to be caught in a giant wind tunnel, right? Like Valley's got wind protection on the sides, but the middle of it is this massive open chasm for wind to just generate and amplify.
Windmills.
Well, windmills might be interesting, depending on if David wanted to try that.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
that's-
ever
I'm not against it. Yeah, Cody.
have you guys ever seen Nausicaa?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they have going on, isn't it? They're in a big valley and they've got all those windmills and like wind powered stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's,
it's-
that's
And they've actually that's like the reason why they're not decaying like crazy insect people is because the winds are so strong that it keeps the spores or whatever away. And that kind of had a really neat kind of aesthetic to it. It's a good point
yeah,
to bring
that's
up.
Well, I
that's
think
a really good point.
I think
Yeah.
if that's true, then maybe in this smoke animation, and also Gosu, that's what we're all about. So, and also if you'd like to test the build of the game, we're working on that now. So we'll be sending that out to everyone who's a regular viewer and wants a copy. And welcome. I mean, thanks for coming and checking our show.
Maybe the smoke should be blown more violently.
Well, yeah. What I think is like you have the smoke going and just doing its thing, and then every so often it just gets blown apart to the right.
Oh yeah, that's to the right.
Well,
Yeah.
we totally need some windmills in there so they can like spin really
Yeah,
fast.
the windmills would be facing to the left, and then the smoke would get blown to the right, and the windmills would pick up in time.
Should I add a massive windmill right here?
To the back of this small little thing? Yeah, I mean, you could if you wanted.
I mean,
What's going on?
David's like, stop!
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, is there like electricity in our world now, or like,
No.
just wind?
You can have windmills without electricity.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could be could be real actual mills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of other things you can use windmills for.
I don't know. Just Valley so far has not been that advanced technologically.
I had a question, David.
Yeah.
So like the structure that the palace is,
Yes.
like what it was before, right?
Yeah.
So so it's a palace. So I'm guessing that this structure is like it's not tiny. It may not be huge, but it's a decent sized building or dwelling. Like where are they getting all the resources to make the stuff that building was used for before it was a palace?
It's all pretty much what they've already had. Rocks.
No, I mean it's like it was a. I don't know how much you want to keep like secret, but like
I mean,
it's it's like purpose, like what that building was used for before it became a palace. They made something there, and that made me think about like,
where that.
Where were they like harvesting this resource?
Right, and how
to make the thing?
Well, I've always imagined their agriculture as being somewhat of an extension of like the underground arbors and stuff like that. They have kind of an underground Liberty Garden kind of thing going on.
Okay.
So that's my like generalized answer to you, but there's no like official "I've made this up and this is why it is" answer if you're looking for that.
Go Skills, thank you so much for the follow. Sorry to interrupt you guys.
Okay.
Welcome to the channel and our small community. If you want to wish, you can check out the FAQ for wishes underneath the video. What happened to InDev Girl's moderator status? She still has it. She should. And actually, what you're talking about is something I'm interested in as well. Because if they do have a garden like that, and if they do make stuff there in that place that we're talking about now, in an abstract way, then they would have mills.
And the mills will also give us a nice opportunity to add some colors. You know, we could make them be like fabric and the nice color fabric. You know, right in the valley.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be a stone mill. It could be a windmill. They could be hand direction.
Yeah, and where do we put the solar panels, David?
I think they go just over the entirety of Valley. And then I was thinking we could make a hydroponic system.
Yeah, that
You know,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we could just kind of put it, through all the holes in the windows and shit.
So just to clarify, you are not against not copious windmills, but a windmill here or there.
I think what I'm mainly against is a windmill that looks like our windmills.
Well, I don't think. Can you see what Frank's doing right now?
Yeah, it looks very windmill-y.
Okay, so what you're looking for when you mean that is
I think it makes sense that they would figure out a way to harvest wind power in some way. I just think it behooves us to be a little unique in the way that they do it, and yeah.
Do you know those weird? Man, I don't have no idea what they're called, but like at airports, they have those like crazy like tubular flags that like catch wind.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What if there was something like that would like it grabs the wind and like this like tubular thing grabs it and like funnels it into like the rock, and then they do something with it and we don't ever see it. They just have all these like
cool.
little.
Yeah, I like that.
Almost like, and it could even have these like organy sounds that it would make.
Yeah, Justice would like that.
Yeah, Justice can add that into the soundtrack for the place.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Let's
okay.
do
Let's
something
do
with that.
Frank. Yeah. So yeah, let's do that thing. And there's even a little structure there that would take in that wind energy, the little one underneath the rock below, the darker one.
This one?
Yeah. And Gosu Skills also says, and I think this is a great idea. Suggestion regarding the windmill. Being drawn at an angle to indicate the direction the wind is blown in synergy with the smoke can add a layer of depth. So I think if the wind is blowing from the left, whatever we have to capture it should angle to the left.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking with if there was some kind of extension out of like it wasn't just holes in the rock face, but actually like there was holes in the rock face and then some kind of like tubular funnel would like
Some
move
kind of, like,
around
weird
to grab it.
Mechanical lung thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I think
Like
it'd be interesting to think about what that's like.
Like a billows almost, and almost like the membrane in between an organ.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's a thing. What is it?
I don't know.
It's just a big thing in the middle of it. Like I think it makes more sense if we don't try to make sense out of it and we just try and make some
we have
strange
to have a
thing.
visual model for it, which is why I'm asking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think I'm just interested in seeing what Cody does with it, and like, and we never. I mean, we'll probably never see the inside. It gives me the opportunity, or someone the opportunity, to be like, we should actually figure out what this is, and then make it part of the game. But like, if we want to, it can just be this strange, interesting thing, and that's it, which is good. I like strange, interesting things. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as long as, what's great about it is the smoke can suggest. The smoke is a great visual for this specific building because it'll allow